What's going on, guys? I've got a great new squat variation for you today. It kind of came out of nowhere. I had prescribed some front squats for a client earlier today. We had always been back squatting and he was getting really strong with that, and it was time to change up the variation, get a little more quad focus and a little bit more core. So for that, I prescribed him front squats. If you've ever front squatted before, you'll probably remember your first couple of times were super uncomfortable because it's quite difficult to have the right mobility and stability to get your elbow high in this position and your hands and keep that position while the weight is on top of your shoulders and you're trying to actually dynamically move up and down. Usually you'll feel that your elbows want to drop, which makes it really unstable and it wants to push you forward. So my client was struggling a little bit with that at the beginning. I was looking at the Camber bar beside us and I realized a Camber bar has a lower center of gravity. So chances are it wouldn't be so difficult to hold that position up here with the weight being directly over your shoulders. We decided to give it a shot and he was able to perform it no problem. It was still difficult, it was still tough, but he was able to do this variation. So I think this is a great front squat variation. Normal front squats are great too. Every variation has its own pros and cons. The only part that I would say is more difficult with a Camber bar front squat is that the Camber bar is less stable. This weight will move. So you have to really focus on stability as much as you can. Everything else that you would normally do in a squat still applies. Keeping the elbows high throughout the range of motion as well. Pin the ribs down and force the upper back up so you have a nice stable core. You can see that the bar was shaking a little bit there. So I know that not every gym has a Camber bar. Get creative, try and think of your own things, or find a gym that does. We at Clearcut, we always like different variations so we can get stronger in different range of motions, different positions, keep the mental stimulus high for training so you don't get bored and you have clear-cut results.